What's going on, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to another episode of my F1 2016 career mode, episode number 14 today for the Italian Grand Prix, and this one is going to be a struggle, I think. The Italian Grand Prix, obviously, the kind of track of speed, you know, the long back straight, long front straight, it's straights everywhere. It's going to be a very difficult one for us, and unfortunately, we couldn't get an upgrade on the car for this weekend. You know, we didn't have enough points at the end of the last episode to spend anything, you know, apart from maybe the fuel efficiency, but I really don't think it's really that worth it for us, especially because I think we'll gain way more from chassis weight, downforce, or drag, or an engine upgrade, neither of which we can upgrade. So we went to practice trying to get as many points as we could to then potentially buy an upgrade before we get to the Singapore Grand Prix, which is obviously a very different circuit. So the kind of upgrade I was thinking about for Monza is going to be very different to the one we end up purchasing for the Singapore Grand Prix. But nonetheless, went out there, did all three practice tests. We got 50 out of 50 and all of them. We're kind of on a roll with that. I'm on a roll with that. I kind of got used to how you do all the tyre wear tests, you know, all the qualifying pace tests, what's kind of required of it all. And if you missed the last episode, the Belgium Grand Prix, I kind of showed one complete lap of the tyre wear test to give you an idea of how I tackle it and how I manage to get a purple lap time for pretty much all the laps that I do in the test. So if you do want to know maybe how to improve, get a few pointers here and there, then go check out the Belgium Grand Prix episode if you didn't watch it, and check out that lap, and you might be able to analyse what I'm doing there. And then at the end of practice, we actually had a little bit of a slipstream test here, unintentional slipstream test, and slipstream the Manor car, and actually was able to overtake him into the first corner. So that was quite boded well for me, because I was running quite a low drag setup. I ran, I think, 5-4 wings, so 5 front wing, 4 rear wing. So it did show it was working out quite well, because I was able to slipstream the Manor, which is known to be a rocket ship, and overtake it into the first corner, which is really good. And then you could see briefly there, that was Valtteri Bottas, our rival, our new rival. So kind of the game, even the game is sort of keeping in tone with what I've been saying all the time, which is the Williams are our main rivals. So we move on to qualifying into Q2. Q1 we got through pretty easily, and so that's fine. Don't need to really show you guys that. So we're on our Q2 lap once more. I know, again, we're on the soft tire compared to the super soft. It just is the best strategy I'm feeling for myself personally. The way I drive and the way I wear out the tires and the strategy, I just feel like for me it is the best way to go. Go on the kind of second hardest compound in Q2 if you can, and then that really opens a lot more strategy than if you were to qualify on the fastest tire possible. And just for me it works. It might not work for others, but for me personally definitely does work. And we just about got into Q3, and to be honest, I was very, very happy with this. Very, very proud of this achievement to get into Q3 at Italy, you know, the high-speed circuit in a McLaren Honda, showing the upgrades are working, but also just, you know, I was flat out commitment on that lap, you know, very low wings, so the car was actually feeling very unstable in some of the corners. You might have seen there on the exit of Ascari, the Ascari complex, the car was a little bit kind of on edge and really not kind of planted on the ground as much as you want, but we just made it through. Our teammate unable to make it through, so we've done that as well, and we'll be good to start the race on the soft tires alongside Lewis Hamilton as well. So once again, you know, we're doing the same as a Mercedes car, so you know, the strategy can't be all that too bad, but very, very happy to just squeeze through. And Esteban Gutierrez there just about getting through in the Haas car, which I thought was also noteworthy to kind of to talk about, because, you know, that's quite impressive for the new team in Formula 1 to get through into Q3 at Italy. But anyway, move on to our Q3 lap. You can clearly see it's very, very overcast. The conditions change completely. You can see I go wide into Ascari. Just the entire track for some reason just cooled down so much. I mean, obviously it's overcast, so it would do, but it was so dramatic, such a big change from Q2 to Q3 that the track just becomes like ice, basically, once again, like Russia Q3, like we've seen a few times this season. Like, you know, when the clouds come over on this game, the track can really significantly cool down and change how you go around and go about the lap. It was a tricky lap, and we navigated it too. Well, surprise, surprise, P7. At this point, it's not even a joke. It's just kind of, I don't even know anymore. Like, it's making me crazy. Like, we keep getting P7. I mean, at least I'm consistent. I'm very, very consistent. And I think one person pointed out in the last video in the comments that maybe I'm getting P7 a lot because I've technically taken Fernando Alonso's car, and he gets P7 a lot as well. So yeah, at least we're consistent, and we keep on banging in the qualifying time to get the position of my favourite number, the one that I can't get because of Kimi Raikkonen. So at least we're consistent there, and this has absolutely set us up for a brilliant Italian Grand Prix to be P7 here at Italy. If you told me at that Australia, I would have laughed at you if you told me that back in Australia. So I'm buzzing for it. Let's go to the Italian Grand Prix and see what we can do. So here we are looking at the strategy for the Italian Grand Prix, and oh boy, oh boy. One stop, full wet tyre race. Just what you want to see, just what you want to see. And yet again, my Q2 strategy completely goes out the window. Thank you for that, weather. And thank you, F1 2016, for giving me another wet race. I really am getting sick and tired of wet races. It's fun. Don't get me wrong, it is fun to race in the wet. But after doing so many of them in a row now, so many sessions where it has been raining, where you just can't quite push to the max, and you're always conscious and nervous about spinning the car. I would love to just drive the car flat out, and, you know, when we do, you see things like we did in Belgium. We did wonderful things there. But either way, we have to navigate the conditions today for the Italian Grand Prix from P7 here at Monza. Dump the clutch, we're underway, 5 red lights are out, and we're a go. And Massa gets a pretty decent start, along with myself, actually, on Rosberg, who's really bogging down there on the right-hand side. Ricciardo now challenging Vettel, and he's actually cleanly overtaken, it looks like. They all go slowly, they all bunch up here together, so we kind of feed our way through in between Ricciardo and Massa there, or Bottas, I think that was, of the Williams, one of the Williams cars. It was Massa indeed, and then Rosberg as well goes slowly. We bang tyres, and we've just managed to navigate ourselves up into P4, so a brilliant, fantastic turn 1 for us, as we kind of threaded it like a needle almost through those cars, and we're up into P4 now because of it. And we can see Lewis Hamilton out ahead in first place with the 2 Ferraris, I believe, of Sebastian Vettel, then Kimi Räikkönen, then myself, then you got Nico Rosberg, then Massa, and I think that's Ricciardo and Bottas going hammer and tong behind us. But now we move on to lap 2, and Rosberg right behind us, actually on the right hand side, going down the inside of us down to turn 1. You can see he brakes so much later than me, showing the difference in confidence in the braking in turn 1. I mean, already in the dry, I'm probably not as good on the brakes as the AI, but in the wet, even worse. You can see we get oversteer on the exit of turn 2, and now we go side by side briefly on the swooping right hand. We're going to have to tuck in, get some brief slipstream, then maybe move out to maybe make a move, but we've moved out too much. We've got opposite lock on the grass, and we had to catch that, and that didn't look that dramatic, but trust me, at 170 miles per hour, going opposite lock is not the one you want to do there, and we have to settle down for 5th place now, just ahead of Massa, who's joined by, I think that's Ricciardo, then Bottas, and then I think there was a Renault there in the top 8 as well, but you can see through Lesmo just trying to keep up with Rosberg onto Parabolica at the end of lap 3 now. We have kept up with Rosberg, actually, and now Ricciardo is the one behind us. He's overtaken Bottas there for what will be 6th place, but we're getting the slipstream of Rosberg. Now look at this, the McLaren may be down on power, but we've got those low wings. Remember, we went for rear wing of 4, so that really helps us out here. It doesn't help us out on the braking perhaps, because you can see I'm still very, very, very bad on the brakes into turn 1, but the rear wing of 4 is really helping out there, getting the slipstream. We went cleanly past Rosberg there, which is a sight to see, to be honest, and something we probably couldn't have done at the beginning of the season. But we now move on towards the end of lap 5, down towards Parabolic. You can see I got some more oversteer on the exit of that corner, and that has allowed Bottas now to come up. He's overtaken Rosberg, so Bottas here, Williams not usually known for good pace in the wet, but good straight line speed, and Bottas goes down our inside at Parabolica. He pushes us wide, we don't get great grip, and also now Rosberg goes down our inside. We're getting mugged off here by 2 cars. Could it be 3, as Ricciardo now wants to join the party behind us. Rosberg goes very awkwardly on the right hand side here on the painted section. We follow him through to get some more slipstream. Ricciardo's gone clearly down on the left hand side, overtaking both of us. Into turn 1 we go. Yet again you can see the AI is so much better on the brakes, but down to turn 1, Rosberg's gone deep and he's pushed Ricciardo off the circuit. Rosberg has done an absolute Rosberg, and he pushed Ricciardo off the circuit wide, and that's allowed us to get the position back, and we're back into 5th place, but Bottas has got us for 4th. We move later on into the Grand Prix, a few laps later now, on towards lap 8. You can see we're trying to get away from Rosberg, but we just can't keep up with Bottas as well. He's actually trying to catch the Ferrari cars. He's got some good pace. You can see the Ferrari, I think that's Sebastian Vettel in the distance, and then Bottas there. You can see the gap has got a little bit bigger, and to Rosberg the gap is increasing as well. So we're keeping Rosberg honest, but we're just not able to keep up with Bottas, unfortunately, and that was much of the story of this entire first stint, because we move later on into the Grand Prix. We move on to lap 13, and it's time to make our pit stop. A little bit of an earlier pit stop, but I'm trying to get an undercut, because the wet tyres actually do get affected by tyre wear. They do actually underperform if they get worn a little bit, so I thought I'd go for an undercut here, maybe about 2 laps early undercut. That's pretty damn early, but hopefully it will pay off for us, and we can try maybe overtake Bottas on pure undercut. I really do think we can gain that much time by pitting 2 laps earlier. I mean, I say 2 laps, I'm not too sure when everyone's going to come through, but we'll see how we go as we exit the pit lane. We move later on into the Grand Prix, onto lap 15 now through Parabolic. You can see we're in P7 at the moment, so we are essentially 2 laps later now, and I think people are coming to the pit, so this is going to be a 2-lap undercut. Let's see how much time we're going to gain. It looks like we'll get cleanly past Valtteri Bottas. At the moment, we've got Sebastian Vettel behind us. Bottas actually stays ahead of us, but we've overtaken Sebastian Vettel, which is very surprising because if you just remember literally moments ago, I said Vettel was ahead of Bottas. So Bottas has jumped Vettel, but we've jumped him as well. So he's lost 2 positions there. We haven't gained time on Bottas. We're pretty much the same gap. Visually, you can see, I think that's pretty much the same gap, but we've somehow jumped Vettel. So I think Vettel must have had a mistake. Maybe he had a very slow pit stop, but something that was all on him has allowed him to go behind us now. And so we're up in 4th place at the moment. You can see Bottas still up into 3rd now. So Bottas definitely has jumped him and is there for a podium position, and we've somehow come out in 4th. So not complaining, but I'm very confused at how that's actually happened, as Vettel has clearly just lost a lot of time somewhere, as we're on lap 17 there, and now we move on 2 laps later onto lap 19, and now it's all a bit too certain though. Vettel is right behind us, and you can clearly see he's got the better grip through this entire section, just not very good on the power, going very gingerly through that entire section, and Vettel steams down on the right hand side. Very easy move for him to make, and he's back up into 4th, and we're back down to 5th place. Still ahead of Rosberg though, so that's pretty good going. We move later on into the Grand Prix though, lap 24. Not a lot happened unfortunately until lap 24, so now we're starting to close up on Valtteri Bottas. You can see up ahead who's been overtaken by Vettel. We've got yellow flags. Someone is off here on the right hand side. I think it's going to be a Toro Rosso. Yeah, a Toro Rosso of Carlos Sainz there, who's ditched it in the barrier there. And now yellow flags at the moment. It'll go green just in time for Nico Rosberg to try and move on the right hand side down towards Ascari. He's going to try it around the outside. We go really, really tight. Just go over the curb, just about made it, and we keep it in 5th place, and we keep Rosberg at bay. You can see, as I mentioned before, the yellow flags came. We are catching Bottas, who's been overtaken by Vettel, so looks like from the pace he had earlier, Bottas not showing the same pace on lighter fuel, so maybe the Williams car is a lot better on heavier fuel in these conditions. We go down the inside into Parabolic on lap 25. 2 laps to go till this Grand Prix. It's flown by because there just really wasn't too much action actually to talk about. Only these little kind of moments here where we're right behind Bottas, and Rosberg's also going to slipstream us, so I won. This is going to be a double overtake from me and Rosberg on Valtteri. Here we go on left hand side. Rosberg, what's he going to do? He goes to the right hand side, so we're going to make it a Williams sandwich at the moment. We're down to turn 1. What will the braking be like? I think Rosberg tries down the inside. We go a little bit waywardly on the rear, but we'll just about manage to squeeze it through, and we are up into 4th place. Rosberg now up into 5th. And sorry, Valtteri, but you're down to 6th. You are my rival, so I'm not too sorry, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. And so we move into Parabolica on lap 27, and Lewis Hamilton has won the Grand Prix. It'll be 2nd place for Kimi Räikkönen, I believe, and in 3rd place Sebastian Vettel to round out the podium. But we get a really awesome 4th place, I feel. You know, Italy in the wet with very low rear wings, rear wing of 4 and a front wing of 5. I think that is a really, really awesome job to get 4th place in those tricky conditions with such low downforce. You know, if I knew it was going to rain, I would have done a setup of about, I think, 8-7 wings. So just showing you the difference in wings I had. So Hamilton wins the Grand Prix. He is in class of his own in this Grand Prix, but I'm very, very, very happy with 4th place here. And Monza especially, even without the wet, that would have been amazing, an amazing result for us. And Jenson Button actually managed to get 1 point for us here in 10th place as well. So nice work for Jenson to just get there. I know he struggled all weekend. He wasn't that great in qualifying. But, unfortunately, guys, I have some bad news for you. I was recording replay cameras. You might have noticed there was an absence of many replay cameras in this episode, because while I was recording the replay cameras, if you don't know how I do these videos, I record replay cameras. Once the race is over, I go through the replay cameras, I fast forward to the points I need to record them, and I record them like that, and then I edit them into the video. While I was doing this, F1 2016 had a patch that downloaded on Steam, 1.2.3. It's a new patch that the consoles don't have yet. It's only PC at the moment. I think it might be only a PC patch actually, because I think it solves a PC only issue. But anyway, the story is it downloaded and it decided to install it midway through me capturing my replay cameras. So it closed the game, installed the patch, and then that was it. I had to boot the game back up, and to my dismay, I pretty much knew what had happened as soon as the game closed, but I had some hope, but no, it didn't come. I had to redo the race. The race wasn't saved. So you saw there the gameplay there. I got up into P4, clicked simulate the race because I wasn't going to do another 50% race of what was basically, I'm not going to lie, torture in a McLaren with low downforce setup in a wet track. I wasn't going to do that all over again. I just spent 50 minutes recording that race. I wasn't going to do it again, so I simulated it, and unfortunately the simulation put us down in 9th place. Jenson Button still gets 10th, so we get 2 points instead of 12, so we lose 10 points. Unfortunate, but I actually literally can't do anything. I can't do anything about it, so complaining about it and moaning about it is not going to do much, but there you go. Just letting you guys know and informing you that is what happened. It's not Codemaster's fault. It's not really anyone's fault apart from maybe Steam. I don't know why Steam thinks that it's okay to close my game while I'm playing the game, that it's downloaded a patch for. Like, that doesn't make any sense, really, so great one, Steam. So, yeah, unfortunate we lose 10 points there, but we did get a win last race, so I guess it sort of balances out. But, yeah, it's a shame. All that work to get 4th place against Ultimate AI, low downforce setup at Monza in the wet. It's just a shame, but anyway, we have enough points now to buy an upgrade. Now, this is where I was debating of what to do, because obviously Singapore's next, so you would think downforce is going to be very important, but at the same time, I don't want to compromise my car's straight line speed ability. I feel like if we put downforce on, that's going to kind of hinder all we've done on drag reduction, so I went for chassis weight. My thinking is here, chassis weight basically in this game helps you get acceleration off slow corners, which Singapore has plenty of, and I feel like that will be very, very good, because we get better acceleration off the slow corners, then we have the good straight line, or the better straight line speed than we started off with at the beginning of this season in this McLaren. I think that will be really good, and to be honest, the downforce is not too bad. I ran 5.4 wings here in qualifying and did okay, and the car felt okay through the corners, so I think I could get away at Singapore with running about maybe 8.7 wings and being fine. We'll see if I have to run Monaco level of wings of 11.10, but either way, I don't think we actually need that much downforce upgrading for Singapore specifically, so I'm going to go with chassis weight. So that's going to be it for this episode, and that's going to be the plan for next one going into Singapore. So guys, if you have enjoyed the episode, smash that like button, especially because of that really annoying update. It just, you can't tell it in my voice, but at the time I was very pissed off, very pissed off, but I've calmed down. You know, there's nothing we can do. We've already had that kind of issue we had at Russia where it said my career mode was over, so we've had issues throughout this entire career mode. We'll move on, we'll continue. Best case scenario, we've lost 10 points, so that's that. So guys, hit that like button, let me know what you thought in the comments below of that race. If you're new around here, then do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. I've been aarava, hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys next time.